Welcome to Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. Part of the Fanatical L's Network, fans first. Join us now. Hey, Lou.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm actually doing very well. I was at the finale. It looks like there's a problem with the Facebook page.
Oh, yeah. Which one? Is that ours?
Yeah.
No, it's fans first.
It's fans
They've
first.
been having. I know. I'm going to remove it.
Am I on here?
Yes, you are. I did add you.
Okay, good.
I did remember to add you earlier, Lou.
I didn't even check before we got on. We started talking.
Well,
about
Lou,
what we're gonna do.
Others don't know this, but Lou and I, my phone was not working earlier today, and Lou was trying to reach out to me, and other people were reaching out to me via text and phone calls, and no one could get through, and I didn't know. And then Lou finally sent me a voicemail, and I'm like, oh, and my phone was acting weird. Turned my phone off or turn it back on, and voila, I get all these texts. Lou's texting me a couple of times, making sure that we're on for this evening. And yes, we are here, stirring the pot. Thank you very much.
In all
fans
of our glory,
first.
we're here. Yeah.
For the Fanatical Elves. I want to give a shout out to my wife too for she bought me this really cool Cleveland Indians. The Guards new. It's the all black.
Is the Guardians going with the back to the block C because it's a different C?
It's
the
one that
doing that.
Yeah, it's the Guardians. It's the.
I would love it if they went to the Spiders. That would have been.
Oh,
cool.
that would have been right.
That would have been cool instead of Guardians. I think if people went Spiders,
I agree.
That would have been.
That was kind of getting some play back when that all was going down.
Yeah,
right?
it was talked about, but I don't think that was ever taken seriously or ever really seriously considered. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not in the ear of the Dolan, so I don't know. But hey, we've got football team to talk about because they moved the game because I had to put that footnote on my article that went out this morning because by the time my article published, because I'm on top of it, I'm getting my stuff out there.
Oh, you are every day.
They moved the game. They moved the game to Saturday at 4:30, and then following Browns at Ravens, I should say. It's in Baltimore. It's the season finale.
Boo to the Ratbirds.
Boo to the Ratbirds.
Thanks, Brian, for watching us.
Thanks, Brian, man. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you. So the Steelers are hosting the Bengals.
The Bungles.
Whatever. Yeah. Cincinnati Bungles, whatever. So you got pretty much the AFC North Saturday. So I'm going to check it out. And I was going to you're probably going to do your pregame before that, right?
Yes. Are you going to be there, Lou?
I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to make it because I'm going to say if Bailey Zappi starts, I'm going to have a pizza on the pregame show from Zeppi's.
Ooh.
Zappi's Pizza for Bailey Zappi.
Oh, that's good. I like it.
Now, why not? What do you say? If people want the comments, go ahead. Tell me if you think that's a good idea.
If only you can spread that or send the pizza via, some
courier,
sort of,
like FedEx overnight it to Baltimore for Bailey's. Because
I want it here in Columbus, dude.
You want it in Columbus? You want a Zappi's Pizza in Columbus? No, isn't that interesting though? It's just like because DTR looked worse than Watson. So
DTR looks like a high school quarterback. I'm sorry, I couldn't. It was so bad. Like he's just.
I was there. I was like, Jerry Jeudy had a good game. He could have had a better.
The two passes he dropped were really crucial. I mean, they weren't crucial, but those two. There was
one where his foot was out of bounds when he looked like he caught it.
He did exactly, and and
when we saw the replay, we're like, dude,
the one that he dropped was right there. I mean, he could have taken it probably for a good chunk.
Yeah, it was at least a 30-yard gain if he would have caught it. There was one. It was just like, so he could have had a bigger game, but it turns out, despite that, he still had
almost 100 yards. Yeah,
he had like 94 yards, 12 catches, so he still had a good game. And I thought Myles Garrett 2 sacks. He's tied with Trey Hendrickson.
First player ever, right, in NFL history to have 14 sacks in 4 straight seasons. First.
Was it 5 straight seasons?
Is it 5?
I think it's 5 straight seasons.
Okay.
I think so because I put that in my article. Yeah. So I mean, and this is the type of MVP level guy we're going to have.
Mhm. Yeah.
Defensive
Oh,
player of the year guy. Yeah, we're going to have this guy. Now I don't blame him for saying what he said because he doesn't want to go through a rebuild. Nobody does. We want to win. So
is he staying? We're not going to trade him because
no,
you're
no,
getting a
I'm not.
lot of these people out there, saying, "Oh, this could be the last game we're ever going to see him." I'm like,
Mhm.
what do you guys like? That would require a trade, and
This was not on our card, our bingo card for before the year. We talked about this, but
no,
some stuff broke our way because people there. I was at the game and I was kind of sitting there. I was eating snacks with my wife, having just
yeah,
we're just hanging out, and she was saying something along the lines of people are cheering for the Browns to lose. Why? And I said, well, they want to get a higher draft pick.
I'm sorry, it's just so Cleveland, right? I mean,
It's
You
just
and I
like
have been
Eh,
through this
it
so
doesn't
many
even
years.
bother me anymore. That shit doesn't. I'm like, because they want to get the higher draft pick, but I think it could be a blessing in disguise. Because really, what has to happen, which very will likely happen,
Yes,
is the Browns lose on Saturday. Which
yes.
I whether it's Zappy or DTR, unless Winston can start and have a good game, I don't really
At
see
least the games would be a little bit more entertaining. That's what all. That's
the
what.
offense would look like a pro offense. It wouldn't look like a high school offense. I mean, yeah, um, plus, when we had Nick Chubb and we were able to run the ball effectively, I mean, he
Yes.
wasn't the same Nick Chubb as before,
Now,
but
Deontay Foreman, I'll say this last night. I like the guy. He's a little bit
he actually
bigger
had a good game.
back.
He had a pretty good game. He averaged 3.8 yards a carry at 50 yards rushing. We
Okay.
rushed the ball for 100 yards with the running back by committee method. So I mean, that wasn't the problem. It was DTR. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
let me just say this. We go back to my point was
Yeah.
if they says okay, and more than likely Houston is stuck where they're at the 4 seed,
Hmm.
and they're hosting Tennessee. So
Yeah.
Houston's going to rest all their starters, and then if I'm not mistaken, who's Buffalo? Buffalo has New England.
Yes.
Okay, the Patriots are. Is it at Buffalo? I can't remember.
I think it's at Buffalo.
Buffalo's at the 2 seed.
Hmm.
Okay,
Or
regardless.
New England. Oh, Buffalo is. Okay, I got
Buffalo's
you.
is 2 seed regardless in the playoffs.
Right. For the playoffs.
New England, they have the first pick. I think Tennessee has the second pick. We have the third pick. If those two teams win and we lose, guess what? We get the number one overall pick,
Hmm. Yep.
and we're sitting there, and
It
we
could
have
happen.
it could very well happen because I don't see Buffalo playing their starters,
No.
and I don't see Houston playing their starters.
Yep.
They don't need to. I Cincinnati's going to play their starters because they're playing for a playoff spot. Pittsburgh's hoping to win the division, so
Right.
they're playing their starters, and Baltimore's going to try to win the division. So that's going to
Yes.
happen with us. We're pretty much we're in this. It's like you might as well at this point just do what you can to try to win, but I don't think
Right.
they're going to win. Now, could this be because I don't see a franchise quarterback in a top 5 pick in this draft. I don't.
No, I don't either.
I don't see an Eli Manning, a Philip
No.
Rivers. I
Uh-uh.
don't see, you know, a Josh Allen type. I don't see a
No.
Patrick Mahomes. I don't see any of these types of
No.
players. So I think that's a consensus I see. But do you see another team like the Las Vegas Raiders? Hey, Kelly.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching us.
Thanks, Kelly.
And
Hi.
make sure later on, if you want to listen to us again, we're on Apple and on Spotify, anywhere
Mhm.
you listen to your podcast, tune in to us. We really appreciate that. That's where
And
Lou and I make the big bucks.
and you can click on the links for the Hemisphere
Yes. Top of the
Hemisphere
X page.
top of the X page, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. That's our sponsor. Check it out. Click on it and do that. Somebody's asking how we're doing. Well, Kelly, we're doing very well. We're talking Browns football. So could a team like the Giants, the
Mhm.
Raiders, maybe the Saints offer some draft picks
Mhm.
to move up?
Kevin Costner, man, we need Kevin Costner in the building.
We need
I do
Kevin
not want
Costner.
Andrew Barry there. I want Kevin Costner to
He's
make
he's
those
he's
picks.
off of Yellowstone now, so he might
That's
be open.
right. He
Yeah,
can just step in. Look,
they just ended that show too. I don't know if you saw the last
now
episode. It was obvious
I saw something,
about
some different
Yellowstone.
rumors about no about Lou Riddick, the guy he's used to play for the Brownies, and now he works for
Yes,
like ESPN and all these things.
yeah.
Anyway, they were saying
Agree, Kelly.
that they could potentially move Andrew Barry up to like the vice presidential role of the team and out of the GM role,
I mean, Deep Podesta's position until
and
Deep
then
Podesta
and
takes a
give
break.
somebody else the GM position, maybe a more football savvy guy, Andrew Berry, the Harvard grad,
I I've
Ivy
I've yet
League.
I've yet to
Okay,
hear that. I don't know.
okay, okay. I'm just
I
you
don't know.
see different
I
things
don't.
in
That's
social
that's that's
media.
that's the first time I heard that.
Okay,
That could just be social media fodder
fluff.
for
Well, there's
yeah.
a
I
lot of
don't
other
know.
stuff out there that we got to get to here, Lou,
Well,
because there's some
well, yeah,
stories
but
to
I'm
go.
just
But
saying. But
let's go back to
could this
yeah.
be a blessing in disguise to help
Hmm.
us recover from the Watson contract and get some draft picks
Oh, I think so for sure. But
if
now,
we play our cards
will
right?
the
Yeah.
Browns fan base, if we get the number 1 or 2 pick, or let's 3, will they come unglued if that's what the Browns do, and then they trade out of that illustrious,
Well,
spot to?
what if they trade down to 5 and they get Mason Graham?
Mm,
They get
yeah,
extra picks and Mason Graham.
sure,
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
like I said, like they do that. They need
You
DB
need
like
a
running back like
well.
Derrick Henry. Yeah, well,
They could have gotten Derrick Henry a year ago. That was
yeah.
uh,
Derrick Henry went
um,
to Baltimore. We were spending that money, but go ahead.
no, I think no, I agree with your assessment on that. I think
Yeah,
right, the talk of the town today, if you're, all these crazy Browns fans and talking draft, keep in mind, I know like Steve Gill, our colleague at Dog Pound South, he reminds everybody, and this is true, free agency comes before the draft. So there will be some moves by the Browns in free agency before we get to that point, and that could have some bearing on what we're talking about tonight. So
yeah, and also too, the restructure of Watson's contract.
yes,
That means June 1st, 2026. He's gone. He's gone.
yes.
They're going to move off of him.
Yes, and
That
you
was
won't
just
see.
tough in the
You're not
cap.
going to see him on the field next year, folks. I
No,
think
no, you're not.
people are confused, and people who don't follow like Jack Duffin and the guys over at LBR. They do a good job of breaking this down. They're going to put him on the puff list. They're going to put him on the IR. You're not going to see this guy play for the Browns again. So I talked about in my article recently, Fansided. Yeah,
I don't know how the Giants lost their
fan
first
stands
pick.
first.
Yeah, I don't know about the
So
Giants. Yeah,
the Giants lost. They won yesterday, and
yeah,
because the Giants beat us early in the season, game 2,
yeah.
that's
That's why
how.
we're third. The Patriots are first.
Yes,
Titans are second. We're third.
a
So
lot
we
of
can.
Giants fans are not happy.
Oh, that's good for them. That's good for them. All right, what do we got here? Yeah. Okay. No, we were just saying the same thing, Steve. Yeah, it's not
Yep,
a great QB class. You might as well trade back. Somebody else might be stupid
yep.
enough to mortgage their future to get
Now
this
the
dude
two
back.
guys, the quarterbacks that are out there, everybody's talking about Sanders and they're talking about Cam Ward
Ward.
out of Miami. Now we all know the whole backstory with the Sanders and Dion. There's a lot of fluff going out there. One idea is that Sanders would come here and Dion would be the next coach, and crazy stuff like that. Then you got Cam Ward down there in Miami who quit on his team at halftime for a business decision, played
I
half the
saw that.
game,
I
and
saw
then
that.
decided to quit. There's a lot of us older Browns fans who are like, don't even
Nope.
don't even think about that. So
If they get a Jalen Milrow, Dylan Gabriel late in the third round, I could see. I'm okay with
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm okay with that.
yeah.
That's we're going to develop a guy. We bring in Kirk Cousins for nothing. Okay, we'll work with this. We'll work with this. We'll see what we
Are
got.
there any other younger veteran quarterbacks that you can think of right now, other than we keep talking about Kirk Cousins? Is there
Justin
anybody else?
Fields, Justin Fields,
There you
maybe.
go. There might be. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Fields. I would also think another guy that's possible. Yeah, I would say Fields, and then I'm trying to think if there's anybody
Well,
else.
Sam Darnold, but he's
Yeah,
having a
but he's going to command a
he's
lot of money, and
and Minnesota likes him. They're having a good year.
I think Minnesota would be foolish to let him go. To be honest with
Absolutely.
you,
And the guy
I
that's
think they
running
would be.
Minnesota used to be here in Cleveland, remember?
Yep.
And that's the other part of this is that, Minnesota and
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
have a good connection.
like,
Peyton
yeah,
Manning.
yeah,
Yeah,
baby.
I
Like
do that. Why not?
nationwide is on
Well,
your
what about
mind.
Aaron Rodgers? There's another guy
Oh,
that a lot
fuck
of people
no,
are talking
no,
about.
no, God, no, no, no. Okay, what else did you want to get to? There we're just stopping it right there.
All right. Well,
No,
let's get to
for
your
the love
favorite
of God.
topic. Lou, this is your favorite topic because
Oh, the
you
stadium.
You've written about it a lot, and
I'm one of the few that I think have. That's really
well,
gone.
the whole thing is just boneheaded. And here's my gripe with
Go
all you
ahead.
Browns fans. I'll start because you
Josh
can, and
Allen
then you
won't be
can
available,
conclude.
Kelly. Yeah, I don't
But
think Josh Allen's
all
going to be
right,
here.
so
But
the
what's
gist
that?
of it is this, folks. If you're just catching up to Browns news today, the city of Cleveland is playing politics, and the mayor decided. And Lou, you can get into more of the details here in a second. But
He
basically,
sent a
the
letter to
gist
the
of it,
ownership of the Browns.
ownership, basically telling everybody, hey, the Browns, you can't leave. And I have the letter downloaded. I don't want to read the whole thing, but basically he's saying,
They're
you're
going to
going to
invoke the Art
sell,
Modell
like,
law.
we want you to sell the team. Like, we want the Haslams to be gone. Like, basically they want to force the Haslams out of Cleveland and keep the team in the city of Cleveland, blah, 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 blah. And they want this decision by January 9th, or there'll be more litigation and all this stuff.
Yeah,
It's just all
and
crap.
currently the Browns filed suit with a federal court wanting clarity on the law because
Yes.
the Art Modell law was used before for the Columbus Crew, which the Haslams own because the
Yes.
Columbus Crew tried to move. Okay, the lease was still in force in Columbus.
Yes.
And he tried to move it to Austin, Texas. The Art Modell law prevented it. Haslams
And
came in.
that's an out of state thing. Now
That was an out of
this is 5 miles.
yeah, this is 10, 15 miles. It's the same county. It's the
Yes.
same county. Okay.
Yes.
We're not even, it's not, it's the same county. It's just, it's across the street
Here's
from
my
the
gripe,
Cleveland
Lou,
Hopkins
and
Airport.
I'll let you
Go
finish
ahead.
here. And
Yeah,
no, but
please,
my gripe
please.
to those of you who are out there bashing the Haslams, and listen, I'm not versed in every business decision that the Haslams have made, but those of you who are just insistent on trying to say these guys are creeps, they're terrible, they're all this stuff. What I don't understand, Lou, and maybe you can help me with this, is it's this, like, they are putting up, the Haslams have thrown out all of this information to the public and to the city, so basically saying, we're going to give you the massive money to build this dome and all these other
$2
upgrades.
billion
Yeah,
of
two or
private
three,
funds.
$2.5 billion of their own, and probably even more after that. And so people are saying, "Oh, it's going to be taxpayers' money and all that." Like, no, it's not,
No,
and
it's
it's
not. That's not the
driving me
truth.
batty.
It's
It's
driving me crazy because there's guys like Jay Crawford on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show
yes,
saying this.
and then
Adam the
Adam
Bull
the
saying,
Bull is talking
uh,
crap too now, and all
I'm
these.
like,
And where are they coming from with like
I'm like, come on
why?
my show. Come on our show. Come on this show. I will show it to you where it was in writing. They said this in public statements, and they
Yes,
even had a response to it invoking the Art Modell law long before it was talked about. They did send a
yes,
response. All it is just this is
garbage.
it's absolute. And also, there's putting another 300 million in the Browns practice facility.
Well,
I'm
and
like,
that's in our. It was interesting, listening to some of the other comments from our colleagues here at the Fanatical
mhm.
Elves.
Steve
There was a good
Steve Gill,
somebody.
Steve Gill.
Yeah, he meant
Yeah. I know.
he reposted somebody that shared basically, this letter, and what they're doing. This politics is really harming. You really are harming the Haslams and what they're trying to do, and it's just such a stupid move by the city. I
You
just
think? You think?
I just don't
Well,
understand.
let me explain to you. I didn't
Okay.
know about this until years after Art Modell left. He did an interview on Mike Trevisano's show, and they replayed it. I don't know if you ever heard this interview or not.
No, I
They
probably
re,
need to look. Okay.
they replayed it on Triv's show, and I had it on TAM. I was driving, but we had the
Yeah.
family in the car. It was Christmas Eve. We're driving across town to my parents,
Okay.
and it was the interview, and he told the story of what happened about how in the 70s, it was in 1973, he took over the Cleveland Municipal Stadium Corporation, started paying for the stadium in
Yeah.
order to prevent the Indians from moving.
Yes.
He did do
Yes.
that. He was
Yes.
paying his own money for this
Right.
for over 20 years. And
Yes,
the
he
city
was.
kept telling him, we'll take care of you. We'll take care of you. We'll
Yes.
take care. It never came. 22
No.
years later, they built an arena for the Cavs. They built the new baseball
Yes.
diamond, new baseball field for the Indians. If they would have just built something for Modell with that, he would have stayed.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
would have stayed. At the same time, Modell could have. Modell's just as culpable too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
Oh
completely
no. Yeah.
defending him.
Yeah.
I'm not. But he did have good reason because they pretty much they didn't think he was going to move. They didn't think he'd actually pull the trigger and
Well,
do
the
it.
whole Art Modell stuff goes way back, and Lou, you and I both done our research on this. I mean, this is going back to when he started. First came in with the group, and when Paul Brown. And I mean, basically, the story goes, fans don't like Art because he fired
Paul Brown.
Paul
Yeah.
Brown. Then Paul Brown goes to Cincinnati, creates the Cincinnati Bungles, same colors, everything, to kind of get back at his old team. He got rid of Jim Brown. He got rid of Jim Brown.
He basically forced Jim Brown into retirement. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then obviously what happened and how it all went down. But Lou, you're right. There are things that along the way. I mean, Arnold Dell did a lot.
Yeah, he did. He did a lot more than you could than people realize, and believe it or not,
But I still hate him. But
I still hate him too. Well, the other thing I thought was classless too. Do you remember when after Art Modell died, what happened? There was a story in the Cleveland Plain Dealer talking about, oh, we had a plan for him to build a stadium on Orange Avenue, but it never. After he died, you waited till after he died to say this. That there was a plan for a stadium on Orange Avenue, I'm like, are you get out of here? That stunk to high heavens when they did that.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, I'm not buying it because where was this? Where was this in '95? Where was this in '95? Yeah, so we could have done so much. Like I said, right now that stadium is built. It's all taxpayer money taking care of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not even fully paid for until the end of 2028. The Browns are waiting till their lease expires before leaving. They're going to continue paying on that lease. The stadium needs to be brought up to code. It costs $2 million a year for taxpayer money just to keep it up to code, much less keeping it up just to maintain it.
Yeah.
It's on a 93-year-old foundation and it's falling apart, and it was poorly built in a rush. We know it. Everybody knows it.
Right.
Just be done with it. Just build a new one. There's nothing wrong with it. And plus, we were sitting in the rain. Well, I'm covered where I'm at, but there's people sitting in that rain and shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, let's keep talking about this. And again, the Browns game, the draft, all of that. Let's continue our conversation just in a second. Let's come right back. This is the Stirring the Pot show with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. We'll be right back. Hey, thanks for coming back to our Stirring the Pot show, Lou.
For the record, no taxpayer money has been even talked about for the new stadium. None whatsoever. Anybody telling you that is being completely dishonest.
Yeah, anybody. I mean, I don't know where they're coming because we're all following this story as long, and I don't know where these people are coming up with this idea.
I haven't pointed out where it was in the Brown statement, their open letter to the public.
You've written that, you've read about it, you wrote about it,
I've seen it. It's here.
Yeah, I know.
And it said that last $1 billion is probably going to be a bond from the state because they talked to state lawmakers about it. They were talking to the county. Won't even meet with the team.
Yeah, I mean,
the Cuyahoga County's not even meeting with the team. It's ridiculous.
It's going to continue to not be pretty. Okay, let me ask you this. I did some research last night after the game last night, and this is where, as a Browns fan, just your loyalty and your fandom for the Brownies. 56 years the Browns they'll have completed since the inception of the Super Bowl that was first played in January of 1967 between the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. We've never been to a Super Bowl, Lou. Do you know in those 56 seasons that we've played, that includes or those years included missing the 96, 97, 98 season, is that we've only had 19 winning campaigns, 19. And 15 of those happened prior to 1994. So in the last 30 years or 27 seasons, we've only experienced 4 winning seasons. Now, a lot of people will talk about, and we've talked about this, about the expansion era. And, we came in and we had crap.
We basically had the death penalty.
Right. But when we're 27 years, into this or wherever we're at, I can't put this all on the expansion era. This is just a bunch of missteps by this organization. Do you feel confident, like, going forward in 2025? Do you feel, you feel like Stefanski, Barry, they're all coming back, the Haslam's are coming back, are we gonna run it back? Are we gonna have some real overloads? Where do you see all this?
What do you mean by overloads? What do you mean?
Well, like new coaches. Like, are we gonna get rid of Ken Dorsey? Are we gonna get rid of our special teams coach?
I'm sure there's going to be some changes, but I don't know to what level. I don't know. Dorsey, this is his first year. I think Schwartz and Dorsey are safe. I think Bubba Ventrone will probably be dismissed and replaced. I wouldn't be surprised that there's some different changes in the roster. I think we need to get younger on the offensive line. I think having the one overall pick and trading back is helpful. Plus, with the free agency period, restructures, we actually do have cap space, guys. This whole cap hell thing that you're
Yeah,
hearing,
yeah. You
that's
want to talk about that, Lou?
yeah, that's not true at all. That is
Right.
not true. That is absolutely not true. See, the thing is, one of the things that Haslam does that no other owner will do, he
Yep.
restructures contracts, pays the cash for them to spread out the cap hit, to lighten the load of the cap. That's how they're managing the cap.
Right.
Now, obviously, this season things didn't work, so there's a plan in place. What that plan is exactly, I don't know. I don't know. I'm
Right.
not in the meeting rooms. I don't know. But I would find it very hard to believe that if you're a billionaire owner, multi-billionaire owner, and you have hundreds of millions of dollars on that field, and you're going to invest a future hundreds of millions of dollars, because I'm thinking they might look at the quarterback draft class and the quarterback free agent class and say,
Mhm.
okay, well, there's not a franchise guy here, so
Mhm.
we need to build around that. Get a serviceable journeyman like a Kirk Cousins.
So let me ask you that. I guess tying into this question, Mike, I'm working on my next article. Your ideas, and that's what you started just talking about. What are ways that we're going to be back to where we were a year ago?
I,
And
I would say fix the line, fix the run game, fix the defense. Defense is not that far away from being fixed. If you add a guy like a Mason Graham and Abdul Carter to this defensive line,
mhm,
it becomes elite real quick.
mhm. Yeah.
It does. It does real quick, especially with a healthy Michael Hall and a more mature Michael Hall.
Yes.
I,
Yeah, he had a
I
pretty good game again. And Isaiah
yeah,
McGuire.
Isaiah McGuire.
These guys were coming up. The Briggs kid of the seventh
Man, it's a
round pick.
shame. It's also it's a shame what happened with Alex Wright too. He could have been.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a shame because there's so many good young players that we have. And did you listen Friday at all when I went through all of Andrew Barry's draft picks?
No, but
Each
I was just gonna ask you about that because I was actually looking at them earlier this afternoon. I
mhm.
didn't. I was gonna do a screenshot
Everybody
so I
brings
could.
up Chad Wills. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was a miss. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
okay, in 2020, I mean, there's a lot of guys that are not like right there for them. Like now, Elliott, last name I forget his first name.
Jordan Elliott. Jordan
Jordan
Elliott.
Elliott is playing for the San Francisco 49ers, and he played most
Mhm,
of the season for them.
mhm.
But outside of that, that 2020 group was not one of their best.
Donovan
Uh,
Peoples Jones had a couple good years with us, and I think we got traded
Yes,
into
but he's on
Detroit.
the practice squad. Players like uh, Felton.
Dimitri Felton. Dimitri
Yes,
Felton. Yeah.
he's out now. He was a running back. Made a
Well, the
couple
average
practice
the average
squads.
NFL career is 3.5 years, so we're
Right.
talking
So
5 years
there's a
ago.
lot of these
Yeah.
guys. Exactly.
So,
No, I. What did you have to add on that with the
well, I'm
draft? You
thinking
were
that
talking about it Friday.
there's still some good young players here. He's not
Mhm.
horrible at picking players as bad as
Mhm.
people want to say. He's
Right.
not perfect. I'm not saying he is, and I'm not saying Haslam's perfect. Haslam makes mistakes. Look. Good decisions come from experience. Okay,
Hey, that's a
and
that's a that's a good statement there, Lou.
how do you get experience? It's from bad
I
decisions.
remember Lou. I don't you remember that when you were younger? I always remember that when I first got my first jobs and I was interviewing for those teaching jobs in education, and it would be like, or it was my first counseling job. I was trying to fit my way in, get myself in the door.
Right.
Just give me. I need the experience. They always talk to you in interviews about experience. Well, I don't have any, but you got to.
Give me a chance and I'll get it. So,
Right, right, and
well, yeah, that's when
anyhow,
you're first out of college and you're trying to get something in, you're trying to get in
yes.
anywhere. And it's just like, so like, but there's a Dean Martin quote, like good decisions come from experience and experience comes from bad decisions. They made
Mhm.
bad decisions. They learned from the Watson thing. They can't have another big swing and a miss.
No.
I'm thinking they're going to look at 2026 for the quarterback, possibly franchise quarterback, whether it's draft or free agency or
Mhm.
trade. That's what I thinking this year
Mhm.
they're looking at bridge,
Right.
whether it's Cousins or Fields. So and think about it. We could, if we trade back enough, we could get a first rounder next year,
Mhm.
possibly from one of these teams that could be bad again, and we could be right up there. And if we want to trade to
Mhm.
get to the guy we want to get to, we could do it. It could be
Right.
leveraging for the future. I'm just saying, just hypothetically, just me, my wheel spinning, guys. This Barry and Stefanski are going to be back next year.
Mhm.
We don't know what they're going to do in the offseason yet. Let's see what they do in the offseason. Let's see how the schedule plays out, what comes out. Because right now it looks like,
Have you seen a schedule, by the way, or at
yeah,
least our opponents?
we play the AFC East and
Mhm.
the NFC North. We will have an AFC West away opponent, NFC West home opponent, and we will have an AFC South home opponent. So
Okay.
we're going to play Tennessee, probably either Arizona or San Francisco, and we're going to go to Las Vegas.
I thought I saw something last night. Somebody posted something. I need to look that up at some
Yeah,
point.
check. Yeah, go ahead. Well, and I'll say this: we host the Packers and the Vikings. We go to Detroit, hopefully on Thanksgiving, and we go,
Oh, there you
and we
go.
go and we go to Chicago. My understanding too is we go to the Jets and we go to the Patriots while we host the Bills, and I think we host the Dolphins again. So, that, and plus you got the 6 home and away divisional games. So that's really essentially the schedule, because we're going to play the 4th place team of the other divisions, such as the Raiders, the either the Cardinals or the 49ers. It depends on how the 49ers do tonight and next week. So it looks like they were winning the last time I looked against Detroit. So we'll
Um,
see what happens. That's what I'm understanding, because I know we're going to play the Raiders. And we go to
well,
the
yeah,
Raiders.
I'm sure you're right. You got
It
uh
happens. It happens. I can be right
you are,
sometimes.
yeah. Buffalo. Okay, the Bills,
At home.
Miami again, New
Mhm.
England, the Jets, the Bears, the Lions, Green Bay, and Minnesota. But now where are they all? Here, let me.
Yeah, I know. I think we go to Detroit. I know that.
Yes, we're at Chicago,
At Detroit. Be nice.
home against Buffalo, home against Miami again,
Hmm.
home against Green Bay,
Hmm.
home against Minnesota,
Yep.
at Detroit, at New England, at the Jets. Okay, and then it says AFC West opponent, you said, and NFC West
What?
opponent.
Yep. And probably an AFC South. So we're gonna have 10 home. We're gonna have 9 home games plus one home
Okay. Oh, and
preseason game.
AFC, that's right, AFC South.
So it's
What a
probably be 10.
memory, Lou. Lou Marconi with the memory.
Tennessee. Yep. Tennessee, Oakland, and probably I'm thinking it's probably, depending on how the 49ers. So it's either the Cardinals or the 49ers, but I think the Cardinals are coming here. I'm just
Okay.
guessing. So
Okay.
we're gonna have 9 home games again, and I think fix the run game, draft the run. There's a lot of really good running backs in this draft, and I have no problem them trading back and getting like. I'm really leery about
You,
Ashton Genty. I am.
yeah, well, I
I'm
don't
leery
think the
about him.
Browns are going to go. I mean, he's going to be the number one pick to go, and I don't think the Browns are going to do that. But
Ashton,
I think
the
that they
running
would
back
take.
from Boise State. Yeah, I want
Yeah,
to see
I
how he
would
does
think.
against Penn State. I want to see how he does against
Yes,
that
isn't
little
that game?
competition
Is that
tomorrow
tomorrow?
night.
Or,
Tomorrow night, and then like I said, Cam Ward not playing in the second half. Shador Sanders struggling against Nebraska. There's more red flags than a Chinese Communist parade with these guys.
yeah.
So I'm just saying, but I could see a team wanting to make that splash and get that quarterback this year.
How
They
about
have
them
at
Cavaliers? They got a big game tonight against the Golden State
Yep.
Warriors
Yep. 10
tonight.
o'clock. 10 o'clock. Stay
27
awake.
wins,
Get a
four
pot of coffee out.
losses. Are they going to have less losses than the Cleveland Browns in their season? That is the question. They're 27-4. Are they going to
Oh,
lose
we're on
14
pace to
games?
yeah. Well,
14 losses?
they 14 what 68-14. That's a pretty good record.
Right?
Hey, they could be on pace for it. That'd be interesting to see.
That was some I
Um,
saw that question posed on TikTok or no
We'll
X or
see. Yeah,
something
we'll see.
earlier
We'll see.
today.
But back to it. I'm glad the city of Cleveland has priorities to litigate against us
Yes, you want
doing
to
it in
share
our
your
own.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
hear
because
more
I
about
had to
that,
go to
Lou.
the west side because my parents live on the west side. So my wife and I went to the game. My parents took the grandkids so we could go to the game for a couple
Yes.
hours, and we went to the game. And we took the west side rapid, which we went to Puritas Avenue, West
Which I take
150th and
all I
Puritas,
take that
and
all the
it's
every
different
time.
than Shaker. It's different than Shaker
Yeah.
because Shaker's more like a bus stop
Yeah.
rapid station versus the green line when I take that one. But I took
Yes.
the red line, And going there wasn't a problem. It was just really wet because it was raining, and
Yes.
the stairs were a little bit slippery. But there's the kiosk and everything. You get your
Yes.
ticket and all that stuff. And then coming back, we just noticed that there was like a homeless guy sleeping
Yeah.
on the steps because you got to go up these stairs, you got to go across a walkway, and then go
Right.
down. And
Right.
on the other side of the walkway where the guy from where the guy was sleeping, somebody
Yeah.
decided to use that stairway as a toilet,
Mm. Yeah,
and it was
I've been
disgusting.
through there so many. That surprises me when you told me that before.
Oh, it was gross.
It was so. Oh yeah,
It did
absolutely.
not smell good.
No, I
And I'm
can't.
talking, I'm not talking about one. I'm talking two.
Well, I've stayed at that hotel before too, and they did a pretty good job with that one.
The La Quinta
Yeah,
Inn. Yeah,
they
yeah, it's
I've
right
been there
there.
a few times, and they've been up and down with their business. But the
Mhm.
last time I was there this last fall, the rooms were in good shape. You know, the
La
hospitality was
Quinta Inn's a
good. You
pretty
know,
good hotel, yeah. But I'm
yeah.
just saying, city of Cleveland, you got your priorities. There's still homeless people downtown begging for money and shit like that. It's like it's almost any city, but hey, good job.
Right.
Yeah, good job. Thank you, Mayor Bibb. You're playing PR. You're playing PRM
What is this?
games.
What happened with this sinkhole on East Ninth? I heard there was a
I
sinkhole.
wasn't there. I heard about it. It screwed up all the traffic patterns. That's why I take the rapid.
Right.
I take the
Right.
rapid and I walk from Tower City. You could take the rapid. I asked my wife. I said, Did you want to walk?" She goes, "Oh, if the rain's not too bad." So we walked and we walked.
Yeah.
We
You
went
went
to
to
the top.
Terminal Tower. Yeah.
We went to Terminal Tower. We walked. We could have taken the waterfront through the
Yeah,
flats.
I get out and I just walk. It's 15, 10 minutes,
Yeah, it's
you
not
know.
that. And
Yeah.
the rain wasn't that bad when we first got out. And it got a little bit heavier when we got down to West Third and Summit because we talked to some people at Top
Oh,
Dog
okay.
Tailgate.
Yeah.
And she eventually just wanted to go sit down, so we got a little bit early to the game, and
Yeah.
where
Sure.
we sit, we're covered, and we got snacks, and we just hung out, ate
Good.
snacks, and watched the game.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I even thought about it. I said the same thing. Never like I did want to win. I always want to win, and I
Well, yeah.
still want to win on
Yes.
Saturday.
Yes.
But guys, we're going to be back next year. We're going to be excited. We're going to want to see what this team does. I want to see what they do. I want to see the moves they make. Don't pay attention to what Barry or Stefanski will say. Watch what they do.
Okay. What do you think about this whole people are arguing about, which is worse, this season or the seasons when they were 0 and 17 and 1 and 16? How do you
Those
where do
seasons
you
were worse. Those seasons were way worse. Okay,
but
okay,
the counter to that is that the expectations were higher this year, far
yeah,
higher than they were back in
they were far
2016 and
higher.
20.
But I would say we arguably have three Pro Bowl players, two on
Yes.
defense: Denzel Ward, Miles Garrett, and we also have Jerry Judy.
Yeah.
So we have three Pro Bowlers this year. We had none
Hmm.
those 2 years. We had no
Okay.
talent. So
Yeah.
we actually have some talent, and I'm going to say a prediction. Do you see Batonio coming back next year?
I don't.
I don't either, and I think Zach Zinner is going to be the guy they're going to try to plug in and start.
Yeah.
That's why they drafted him, and they're giving him. They're pretty much just like a red
Right.
shirt year for him. I
Yeah.
think because he
And
has
you're
a
going to
pro.
get that other kid back from Ohio State.
Whippler,
Yeah.
Luke Whippler.
I think
Yeah.
he'll be good. Yeah,
Mhm.
lots of things. So we got this game Saturday, 4:30. We'll have a pregame show on before that. I think Lou, you're going to be doing your Bernie River Browns talk probably Friday at some point. Is that
Friday, we're going to do it Friday, absolutely.
awesome?
And yeah, starting tonight for the
Happy,
Cavs is Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Dean Wade, Kevin
my
Mobley,
man
and
Dean.
Jared Allen. Yep, Jared
My
Allen
man Dean. I got
starting
to wear my
in
Dean Wade jersey.
at the
I
Chase Center.
got one
Yep.
for my birthday. Dean, I have said this, and I said it on my Johnny Cleveland podcast earlier today. If you were listening, or if you tune into Apple, Spotify, listen to our shows there. I talked just about Kenny Atkinson and this Cavs team, and just Kenny Atkinson is a really good coach, and I'm not just saying that just because they're 27-4. They're 27-4 for a lot of different reasons, but he's leading that mindset, and this group is virtually the same team that they were a year ago. JB Bickerstaff just was not the guy. I've been saying it for 3 seasons. I'm glad that he's having some success in Detroit now, but he
Yeah.
wasn't going to take this team to the promised land. And at least now that the Cavs are legitimately, I mean, I think that they have opportunities. I think they need that experience. What?
Legitimately, I would say so. Yeah, they're legitimate. Yeah.
Well, but a lot of people out there, even the national folks, they don't want to give us our love and attention because
Well, they won't
we're
because it's Cleveland. Well, oh,
we're
what?
Cleveland.
Detroit just scored. Yeah, Detroit just scored. He's going for 2.
Okay.
21-19. They're about to go for 2. Okay.
Well, Lou, happy New Year. Do you have any plans? Do you have
No,
New
no. My
Year.
plans is to watch college football.
Good.
That's my plan. It's my New Year's plans. Don't I'm too. I don't want to go out. I'm too old.
Right? You're too.
I'm getting to the point where I just
Yeah.
don't want. I
We
just
don't go. We're in bed by 9 o'clock. No, I'm just kidding. But
people just people annoy me, and it's like even going to games
yes.
sometimes. It's just like, well, that was so funny because Harvey was sitting next to me at the Chiefs game. I'm just sitting there, just trying to watch the game, not
Yeah.
bothering anybody. Just trying. These people in front of me, they try to sit down and they try to figure out who seats who, and they play grab ass and they get up and play more
Right.
grab ass, and I'm trying to. And
Right.
then he's laughing hysterically. He goes, "Those people are annoying the f out of you." I could see it. I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
"Really? You could just see it in my face. Like, sit down." I mean, it's like, well, I'm up seat 15. I'm seat
Was
12.
this game yesterday?
No, that was the Chiefs game. This
Oh
game,
yeah, yeah.
there wasn't that many people there.
Were
There
there a
was,
lot
I
of
mean,
empty seats?
there were empty seats where we were up by we were sitting. I would say it was maybe about 2/3
Okay.
filled. But I
It
mean,
looked pretty from watching on TV. It looked pretty full, but you could also see there were lots of empty spots.
there were empty
Um,
spots. But where because I sit up in 503 and I'm up where it's
yes,
covered. And the thing I like about it is that I'm covered. I could see the whole field. I can watch plays develop.
yes.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Is
I
that
said
in the end zone on the other side? Is that 503?
503 is more at the 15.
Okay.
You're more at the 15, maybe 20-yard line around there.
Okay. Got you.
Not too bad. Not too bad. And actually, I mean, I had such a blast last year, and I had fun at the Steelers game, and I had fun at the Ravens game because those are two home games they won.
Right.
So
Oh, and it was snowing. It was
yeah, it was snow. It was a fun snow game. And everybody's like, yeah, people there. I was like, hey, you want a dome? They're like, yeah. I mean, they're freezing. Oh, Detroit made the 2-point conversion, so it's tied at 21.
all that Riley Patterson who kicked for us the other week almost won it for Atlanta last night. Did you?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that it
Yeah.
fell short. Because my wife fell asleep. I'm watching this. I'm watching the game, and it's
Yeah.
like then went into overtime. And she's like, "Well, you want to go to bed?" And I was like, "Well, it's in overtime," so she laid back down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a good time at the game. I had a good time going to the games. I'm going to come back next year. I probably won't be doing a lot of other events before that, like doing golf outings and stuff like that.
Yes.
Just want to focus. I like doing what I'm doing. I like doing this. It's just funny because I want to just say this before we go. Happy New
Yes.
Year to everybody. Happy New Year,
Thank
John.
you.
Happy New Year to the Elvis people.
You as
Everybody.
well.
Happy New Year. Be safe. But my daughter said something. She felt bad for me because I was writing my article about doing my game summary
Yes.
because she felt bad because she knows I'm a Browns fan. The Browns lost and I have to write about it. And you know what I told her? I said, don't ever feel bad about that. I said,
Yeah.
don't, because this isn't work to me. I'm doing something I enjoy doing. I
Right.
enjoy doing these podcasts. I enjoy writing and I enjoy going to the games. And I
Yes.
will always be grateful and do that because I remember 96. I remember 97. I remember 98.
Mm-hmm.
And people
Yep.
that are very cynical and negative right now, they have these selective memories. They have all these other things. No, I remember when people wanted Baker Mayfield out of here.
Well, right. I talked about it too.
You're
There
right
was
about
a
you.
lot of negative. There was a lot of.
Ton
I
of
mean,
it.
me included. Like, okay, we're done here. Like,
We're done. We're done. Move on. And you know what? We weren't the only team that let go of Baker Mayfield.
Oh no.
Carolina did too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did the Rams.
Yes.
The Rams went back to Stafford, and it turns out that's okay because they're going to make the playoffs. There's a lot to be done and said about that. Now, with that being said, Baker Mayfield himself will admit that he had to go through that process to get to where he's at.
Yes.
So don't even start with that crap. Just don't.
Right.
Good
for Baker yesterday. 5 touchdowns. I like
Good
following the guy.
I'm happy
what he
for
did
him.
for the team and for the city. That win in 2018 was magical.
2020, the playoff win in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. I'm fine with it. Yeah,
yep.
I mean, it was just one of those things that just happened. Things happen for a reason. And when you're going through a tough time, whether it's as a sports fan or just in life in general, don't ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this? You'll have a different perspective.
I like it, Lou. The philosopher Lou Marconi.
Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius. Look up the book, Meditations by Marcus
Everybody
Aurelius.
Make sure you wear a winter coat starting on Wednesday. It's going to be damn right cold and we're going to get a bunch of snow, man.
It's already cold. It's getting cold, windy and cold.
See you, Lou.
Good night.
Take care, my friend.
You too. Hey, Happy New Year. We'll see you next week.